Hey guys, I'm here. And today I'm gonna show you what I eat in a day to stay lean and healthy. Now, one of my pet peeves is when people say, oh, if you want to get lean, you have to eat a bunch of salads and chicken breast and broccoli and things like that. Well, it doesn't have to be boring. You can still enjoy your food and get really lean at the same time. So I'm going to show you what I eat in a day, which helps me stay very lean all year round. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so let's start off with breakfast. Now, I don't usually have time for breakfast because I get up around 4:30 a.m., train in the morning. But this was an off day, so I got up later, ate some breakfast. I just boiled some eggs, added a little bit of salt and pepper, maybe some hot sauce depending on how much pain I want to endure throughout the day. And some people say, well, eggs are bad for you. They're high in cholesterol. Yes, they are high in cholesterol, but they're also high in protein. And remember that cholesterol does not equal heart disease. The research is very clear on that. So I think eggs are great. Not only do they taste good, but they're very nutritious. Also had some fruit. I usually have some berries, blackberries or raspberries. These were blackberries, they're delicious. But sometimes I'll have raspberries, strawberries, and then I also add some Greek yogurt. Now some people will say, well, Greek yogurt has a lot of protein. It does, but it's also high in calcium and other nutrients that are good for you. So there's no reason to avoid it, unless of course you're lactose intolerant. If you are lactose intolerant, you might want to have some lactose-free or some plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Otherwise, Greek yogurt is great. Add some fruit, a little bit of granola if you want to, and you've got yourself a delicious breakfast. Alright, so next up we move on to a snack. Now, I don't always have time for a snack. In fact, oftentimes I skip the snack because I'm training fasted in the morning. However, if I do have a snack, this is probably what I'll have. Maybe a little bit of string cheese. String cheese is very convenient, it's easy to eat. Or I'll get some sliced cheese, add maybe a slice of turkey, put it on a whole grain bread and that'll make kind of like a little sandwich, maybe with a little mustard. That's what I usually have for a snack. Alright, so now we move on to lunch. This is what I'm having for lunch today. A lot of you guys probably know about this place. It's a popular fast casual restaurant that's very convenient, so let's take a look at what I'm eating here. Alright, so first of all, I'm having some baby spinach, then I'm adding some tomatoes, then I'm adding a whole wheat tortilla, then I'm adding some black beans. I love black beans. Then I'm adding some roasted chicken breast. I'm getting a single serving size of that. Then I'm going to add a little bit of queso. Some people may say, well, you shouldn't have any fat, especially saturated fat. Saturated fat does not equal heart disease, so don't listen to those people. Have a little queso, it's delicious. Then I'm adding some salsa and that's pretty much it. That's my meal. Very simple, very clean, lots of protein, lots of fiber, very low in saturated fat and added sugar. So this is what I'm having for lunch. Sometimes I'll change it up. Sometimes I'll have some rice instead of the whole wheat tortilla. Sometimes I'll have some corn chips on the side instead of the whole wheat tortilla. But typically, this is my go-to. Alright, now let's move on to a snack. This is not a necessary thing to have. Again, oftentimes I'll skip this meal. But if I do have it, I'm either gonna get some nuts, these are almonds. I'm gonna have maybe a handful of almonds or I'm gonna have some cashews. But I keep these cashews in my office. They're in a little container, I have them pre-measured out to 25 grams. Why 25 grams? Because that's about 1 ounce and that's going to give me approximately 180 calories, so this is great for a snack. Maybe I'll have some cashews, 25 grams, not too many, not too much, just enough to hold me over until my next meal. Alright, so now we're moving on to dinner. Tonight I'm having some cod with some roasted vegetables. Very simple. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm eating. Alright, so here's the cod. Just pan-seared, baked in the oven, looks delicious. It's not dry. Remember that overcooked fish is not good. You want to cook your fish properly. Don't overbeat your eggs either. If you overbeat your eggs, they're going to be tough. If you overcook your fish, it's going to be dry. So just be careful. Be mindful of how you cook your foods. The way you cook your foods is just as important as the foods you choose to eat. Alright, so here are the vegetables. We have some broccoli, cauliflower, onions, garlic, bell peppers. We have a little bit of cumin in there, a little bit of coriander. Really tasty. But look at this cod, it's nice and moist. Look at that beautiful flake. What more could you ask for? We have some lemon juice, a little bit of salt, some fresh ground black pepper. I'm going to show you exactly how I season all my food. If you haven't seen that video, I highly suggest you check it out. Learn exactly how I season all my foods. It's very simple. No need to be afraid of seasoning your food. Season it up, it's gonna make it taste better. And again, don't be afraid of saturated fat. There is no such thing as a bad fat. All fat is good. In fact, cod is actually a very rich source of omega-3 fatty acids. So it's very good for you. I highly recommend you eat it. So tonight I'm having some cod with some roasted vegetables. And sometimes I'll switch it up and I'll have some sweet potato. I'll either boil the sweet potato or I'll roast it in the oven. Or sometimes I'll throw it in the air fryer and see what happens. So that's what I eat in a day. It's very simple. It's nothing fancy. I do not spend hours in the kitchen slaving over a hot stove trying to come up with gourmet meals. I keep it very simple, very basic, and as you can see, it's not boring at all. It's quite delicious, and I'm sure you can replicate this and come up with your own meals. Don't be afraid to experiment in the kitchen. Try new recipes. Try recipes that you've never tried before. Invite your friends over, have a little dinner party and try to impress your guests. Cook for them. Cooking for other people can help you get better at cooking. It's a great skill to have. It's a great life skill, so don't be afraid to learn how to cook. Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe and click that bell notification. I post new videos every Monday and Friday. I'll see you guys soon.